Hey guys, this is Justin here with Packet Attack. It's actually my first video, but thought I'd show you guys tips on how to protect your networks that's behind FortiGate from GEO, using the GEO IP based feature. Now, I actually got a test device here that's out of licensed. The license are expired. Sorry, I'm pretty bad at this. Getting used to being comfortable on the camera, but GEO filter with FortiGate, once it expires, once your updates expire, you essentially have the GEO IP database from when the last update happened, and it's there. You've got a list, and really better than nothing. Obviously, ideally, you want to have active subscription. Here's two things that it's going to do for you. Protecting ingress traffic. If you have any servers that's exposed behind the FortiGate and a DMZ out to the internet, and you necessarily don't need any people connecting in from other countries, Russia, China, Soviet, any other country that you want to block, it's possible. And then also you're going to have on your egress side with devices behind your network, it's definitely just as important to block outbound traffic as well. That way you can potentially help stop any command and control servers that exist in those countries. So say if a computer on your network, a Windows box, gets infected with malware or a botnet controlled threat, essentially can't send data back out to the mothership or the master server, right? So setting up your policies in a way that block both inbound and outbound is equally important. Your inbound traffic is going to be even more important if you're protecting some hosts that's exposed. So let me show you this. And actually, the last time this database has been updated was 2019. Actually, it's a customer here that just prefers not to pay for the updated subscriptions, unfortunately, on a budget constraint situation here. But yeah, let me show you how to implement a GEO IP filter. This is actually version 647. So, all right, so we're going to drop down to our policy and objects and go to our firewall policy. So we got some simple rules here. There's actually a DVR that's accessible, and I'm sure most of you guys know how insecure these devices can be. This particular one, I have an IPS policy on it that's protecting against server-side vulnerabilities. It's not up to date, so it's gonna not be as effective. But let me show you how we can take this even a step further. And I want to start with my egress package, our policy here, that's going to block our destinations out to a country. And actually, I want to make sure that it's at the top as it filters down from top to bottom in my policies here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new policy. And I'm going to call my policy GEO block. My incoming interface is going to be in my case, I'm using SD-WAN here. But if you have your individual interface, you can select it here for your WAN. But both of my WANs are within the virtual WAN link here. Okay. My outgoing interface is actually going to be my internal LANs. the source. And I actually already have a group here called country block, where I have both China and Russia. I'll go ahead and click that. So my destination is going to be actually all. So basically the logic is incoming from the internet to any of my internal interfaces in the LAN zone. We're going to block the country using the GEO filter, and we're blocking both China and Russia. The destination, any internal devices on the LAN zone. So this is going to be always. For our services, we're also going to select all, and the action, deny. And there we go, geo blocking. We're going to enable this policy. We're going to log violation traffic so we can monitor this. Okay. And so important here is that you want to put your policy on top. Okay. So now that we have that in place, that's going to protect our inbound traffic, ingress to the network. And we have our logging set to all. So that way it'll capture any access in your logs. Okay. So like I said, just as important as your inbound ingress, you also want to duplicate your rule for an egress as well. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So we can actually go over here and we can do a cool clone reverse, which is a nice option to take your current policy and just send it on the reverse side. So basically flipping your to and from. It's gonna come out actually disabled. So we can actually move this down, and I like to put these like right above my main out to internet policy. And let's actually label this ingress. And then all right. So just basically flipping on the reverse side, right? So go ahead and enable this policy. Great. So there we go. So any outbound attempts to either of these two countries. Now, again, if your GEO IP database is not updated, it may not have all the IP addresses, right? There's been, I'm sure Fortinet's constantly adding new IPs from IANA to the database, so something to keep in mind. But again, this should be a good layer of protection to protect you, especially if you're not doing any business in those countries. If you don't have employees traveling and then trying to VPN into your network from there. Now, something to keep in mind is access to cloud-based applications where there may be servers that's a part of that cloud service that exist in those countries. But one thing I've seen is generally if your access to that data center is not working, generally the cloud will dynamically, push your access attempt to another data center that's in another country that is accessible. But I have had that come up before. But that's all. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I hope this tip helped out. I'm actually going to create a lot more of these type of videos. So look out for it. Here I'm going to talk about network engineering, security. I focus a lot on Fortinet, but also Cisco. I'm definitely into like crypto, so you'll get some of that as well here. But take care, and we'll see you on the next one.